So hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another Way of the Hunter video. Now this video was recorded during early access, so once again a huge thank you to THQ Nordic and 9rocks Games for allowing me to take part in the early access for Way of the Hunter. Now this video is going to be all about the perk system in Way of the Hunter. Now when they announced that there was going to be a perk system, there was a lot of discussion over how this was going to be implemented into the game. However, I can say after playing through some of the game myself and experiencing this system, firsthand, I can say that I think they've hit the nail on the head with how they've actually implemented this. So you can see we have a few different categories: rifles, shotguns and hunting, with bolt action, lever action, break action, hiker, outdoorsman, explorer and strategist in those categories. And as you can see, the first one in bolt action reads catch your breath. Hold breath length increased by 25%. Hit heart, either lung or an artery 10 times with a bolt action rifle whilst hold breath active. So basically just while holding your breath. And you can see that I achieved that. So it just gives you a bit longer to actually hold your breath and make the shot. The next one is monster lung capacity. Hold breath refills 30% faster. Hit heart, either lung or an artery 25 times with a bolt action rifle while hold breath active. So again, whilst holding your breath, and then it just gives you a little bit less time to actually recover your breath in between holding your breath. Then we go into gunslinger, which is 25% faster chambering. Hit heart, either lung or an artery 50 times with a bolt action rifle. And you can see my progress there. I like the fact that you actually have to do things to unlock these. Then we have quick on the draw, 25% faster aim down sight. Hit heart, either lung or an artery 75 times with a bolt action rifle. Again, you can see my progress there. And again, I love the fact that you actually have to do things. You actually have to make those achievements to get stuff. And then we have taming kickback, 20% less recoil, hit heart, either lung or an artery 90 times with a bolt action rifle. That is a lot of times in this game. Then steady hands, 20% less sway, hit heart, either lung or an artery 100 times with a bolt action rifle. So as I was saying, I love the fact that you actually have to do things to unlock these perks. It's not just you get points or something as you level up. You actually have to achieve things, and that makes sense because the more you use a rifle, of course, the more familiar with it you're going to get. Then into lever action, the first one we have is catch your breath. Hold breath length increased by 25%. Hit heart, either lung or an artery 10 times with a lever action rifle whilst holding your breath effectively, or while hold breath active. So again, same thing as with the bolt action, but this time with lever actions. Same thing again with the monster lung capacity, your hold breath refills 30% faster, or basically, the time in between holding your breath, it's a bit quicker, it's 30% faster. And again, this time you have to hit heart, either lung or an artery 25 times. Then for gunslinger, again, 25% faster chambering, hit heart, either lung or an artery 50 times with a lever action rifle. Again, you're going to have to make a lot of good shots to be unlocking these different perks, and I really, really like that because it shows your proficiency with different weapons rather than just unlocking them. And then quick on the draw, 25% faster aim down sight, hit heart, either lung or an artery 75 times with a lever action rifle. And then we move on to taming kickback, which is 20% less recoil, hit heart, either lung or an artery 90 times with a lever action rifle. A lot of good shots needed to be made there in order to get used to the kickback from the lever actions. And then steady hands, 20% less sway, hit heart, either lung or an artery 100 times with a lever action rifle. So basically the same perks between bolt actions and lever actions. And again, you're going to have to make a lot of good shots with both of those rifles in order to actually unlock those perks. Then we move on to the shotguns and onto break actions. So again, catch your breath, hold breath length increased by 25%. Hit heart, either lung or an artery 10 times with a break action shotgun whilst hold breath active, or whilst holding your breath basically. That's going to be an interesting one, because if you're shooting small game, I wonder how much penetration the shotguns are going to have in order to be able to get through to things like a heart or lungs or even arteries. Does that mean the small game has arteries? That'll be interesting to see. Then monster lung capacity, hold breath refills 30% faster, hit heart, either lung or an artery 25 times with a break action shotgun whilst holding your breath / whilst hold breath active. So again, same thing, gunslinger 25% faster chambering, hit heart, either lung or an artery 50 times with a break action shotgun. Again, going to be interesting to see about hitting heart, lungs, arteries on small game like ducks and rabbits and stuff. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see, I would imagine. And then moving on to the next one, which again, same thing, quick on the draw, 25% faster aim down sight, hit heart, either lung or an artery 75 times with a break action shotgun. So once again, same things. This one's different. Eye align, 25% faster firearm alignment to the target, hit 75 birds in flight with a break action shotgun. So that's going to be testing your ability to hit flying targets, which I really, really like. And again, quite a high number, 75, to be able to actually unlock that. Then back to ones we're more familiar with, taming kickback, 20% less recoil, hit heart, either lung or an artery 90 times with a break action shotgun. Again, a really high number to actually be able to achieve to get used to the recoil on a shotgun. Then steady hands, 20% less sway, hit heart, either lung or an artery 90 times with a break action shotgun. And that's all of the perks that are there for the shotguns and rifles at the moment. Now, obviously, I can see that there's scope to add more categories there if they decide to add more types of shotguns or more types of rifles in the future. And I imagine they'll probably follow pretty much the same perks based off of the fact that those three use mainly the same perks. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see in the future. But moving on to the hunting section and into the hiker category, and we have Like a Ghost. 15% less noise made when moving upright. Travel 15 kilometers in an upright stance to unlock that one. Now, I guess that's basically to simulate the more that you go out hunting, the more you get used to being quiet and stuff like that. Then moving on, we have the Invisible Man, 15% less visible to animals when upright, travel 30 kilometers in an upright stance. Again, sort of trying to simulate, I think, as you get more used to hunting, getting more sneaky. Then we have Padfoot, 15% less noise when moving crouched, and you have to travel 5 kilometers in a crouch stance to unlock that one. And then we have Hunchback, 15% less visible to animals when crouched, travelled 10 kilometers in a crouch stance. Again, the more you do it, the more sneaky you're going to get as you get more used to it, I assume. I assume that's what they're going for with these perks, which makes sense, I guess. It would happen in real life. This one is particularly interesting. Fast and loud. 15% faster, but 10% louder movement when crouched. Travel 15 kilometers in a crouch stance. Now, of course, that's logical as well, because if you're moving faster, you're going to make more noise naturally. Really interesting to see a perk that gives you something good, but also has a negative side to it. And I was very intrigued when I saw that. Silent Crawler, 15% less noise when moving prone. Travel 3 kilometers in a prone stance. Again, I guess that's just making sense of the more you do it, the better you're going to be at it. The more used to it you're going to be at it, so you're going to be more sneaky. You're probably going to make less noise because you know a bit more about what you're doing, basically, compared to when you start out for the first time. So again, that makes a lot of sense. And 3 kilometers, that's quite a long way. And then to the ground, 15% less visible when prone, travel 5 kilometers in a prone stance. So even further to give you that less visibility. And 5 kilometers in a prone stance is a huge distance. Can you imagine crawling 5 kilometers along the ground in real life? I think that's pretty insane. Now, this one is the one that intrigued me the most out of the hiker section. True Predator, 50% less visible, 50% more silent, but 30% slower movement in prone. And to get that, you need to travel 7 kilometers in a prone stance. Now, of course, once again, this is logical. If you are moving slower, you're going to be more silent and less visible. So it makes sense that it makes you slower, but it also gives you the sort of the extra silence and, of course, the extra sort of hiddenness, the less visibility. It makes a lot of sense. So again, really, really like that one. Then moving on to Outdoorsman. The first one we have is Smells Like Water. Player scent reduced by 15% for animals. Sell 15 big game animals which did not pick up the player's scent. Very interesting one, because, you know, you've got to manage your scent in that case and make sure that your wind direction and everything is really good. There's no scent cover in game at the moment, so you really do have to be managing your wind direction and making sure those animals don't smell you. Then we have First Aid Master, 30% faster rate of life regeneration. Fall unconscious 10 times. Now, I actually haven't fallen unconscious in the game at the moment, but this makes it sound like you just have to wait until your life regens. So that's going to be really interesting, and I'm half tempted to just go and throw my character off a cliff and see what happens, maybe, for a video. That could be really interesting, but very interesting to see that as a perk, and obviously that will be very useful. Then we have In Earshot, animals audible at 20% greater distance. Complete the Idaho collectibles. Now, I'm assuming that's part of the story missions. I don't know how I've got one collectible. I'm not sure which thing I did gave me a collectible for that, but interesting. Then we have Eagle Eye. Hunter sense works at 10% greater distance. Interact with 15 unique animal signs, either static or dynamic. So picking up need zones, I imagine, would give you points towards this. And probably calls, stuff like that. Anything that's picking up animal signs. And that, again, makes sense. The more you're looking for things, of course, the more attuned you're going to be, so the better you're going to be able to see things. And then for the next one, we have Walking Sense. Hunter Sense also works when walking. Interact with 30 unique animal signs, whether static or dynamic. And then finally, we have Collector. 30% extended space for animal trophies. Display 50 taxidermied animals in the lodge. Now, this one is so incredibly interesting to me, because what happens when you unlock this? Is there suddenly an extension to the lodge? Do suddenly more plaques and platforms appear? Maybe there's just another room that didn't have anything in it before. Now you can place stuff in there. I'm really intrigued. Really intrigued by that one. I can't wait to see what that actually does. Then moving on to Explorer, we have Quiet Rider. Animals alerted 25% less by vehicle. Travel 100 kilometers in a vehicle. Again, I guess that kind of makes sense. You get more used to moving the vehicle in a quieter way so that animals will spook less. Just generally trying to be more sneaky, I guess. But maybe that one is a little bit more game orientated, I don't know. Then we have Pedal to the Metal, 25% increased vehicle speed, travel 150 kilometers in a vehicle. Well, that just does make sense. The more used to a vehicle you get, of course, then you're going to be better at driving it, so that does make a bit of sense. Then we have Sybil Eyes, 5 days longer weather forecast, play for 12 hours. Nice, easy one to do. And then another one that completely took my breath away when I saw it, Say Cheese. 50% extended range of photo mode camera, and you get that by collecting all the Transylvania collectibles. Now, of course, I'm going to want to unlock this, being a very much in-game photographer. I love taking pictures in-game, and I think with the camera being the way it is, it's going to be a great way to document, potential trophy animals as they grow, rares as they grow, lots of different things. Really excited for that one. And then for Strategist, we have Within Call, 2nd level calls available. And to get that, you need to sell 10 called animals. Now, this is really interesting, and to me, this is very cool. As you make calls and call in animals and then sell those animals that you've called in and harvested, you can unlock different call levels. So this one is the 2nd level, and the next one is going to be 3rd level. So here you go, Pied Piper, 3rd level calls available, sell 30 called in animals. And basically what that means is that you can do different calls with the caller. So if you want to attract high fitness males, you'll have a different noise that you make with the caller as opposed to one to attract low fitness males. And I think that that's really awesome, that it actually rewards you for becoming proficient with your calling. And I absolutely love that. And the calling has some interesting aspects to it in this game. It's not bog standard, press a button, wait for the animal to come in. You actually have to be careful to not over call and stuff. So yeah, really cool to see. And then finally we have sitting and watching. 30% bonus to sway, scent, visibility and noise reduction while in a stand. Hit heart, either lung or an artery 50 times from a hunting stand. So again, getting used to using the stands and I guess using them to your advantage so that your rifle's going to sway less, probably by leaning on the stand, I guess. Scent, I guess, by just paying attention to your wind direction and stuff. It's all fairly logical with all of these perks, and that's what I really like. And it's not arbitrary, oh, level up, unlock a point, and then you can select something to suddenly become better with this. This, you actually, if you want to become better with something, you have to go and do activities related to that perk. And then, yes, as you get better by naturally doing more of that activity, you can unlock these perks as you go along. And I think that is the best way to do a system like this in a game. You want to become more proficient with your rifles, so you need to make better shots. And as you make better shots, you get more confident with that rifle, and then you're going to unlock these perks. And I just think that that works amazingly well. And there's, like I said, some really intriguing ones in here, like the 30% extended room for taxidermied animals. I can't wait to see what that does. The extended camera range, I think that's really interesting. Of course, the cooler levels, like I said, I think that's fantastic to see something actually rewarding you for being good at calling in animals. And I have been trying to do some calling myself, and it really isn't that, it's not as simple as it comes across in some other games. You don't just sit, spam a button. You have to pay more attention to what you're actually doing, and I really, really like that. And getting rewarded for actually doing well with that, I think is really, really cool. But that is the perks that are available in Way of the Hunter. And I thought that this would be a really good video to make because, like I said, I saw a lot of questions about what the perks were going to be. And I just feel personally that they've done a really good job of it. And I think this is basically the best way to do it for a game like this. It's not over the top, it's not overpowered, it's all quite logical, mostly, I'd say. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed. But that is going to be it for this video, guys. I really hope you have enjoyed it and that it's been useful. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and for your support as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.